This is not a drill.
Straight out of Central PA, it's the Old Dirty Basement Podcast.
Hello, everybody.
Jesus, man, that was you got the full length of that.
Yeah, I was liking the intro because I haven't heard it in a while, so I was getting into it. Yeah.
I thought you were having a stroke for a moment.
I did stroke out for a second. I was actually thinking about getting a pen. Is there a pen over there?
Yes, I can hook you up with that.
All right, that's a whole. I was thinking that the whole time, but then I was like, I'm supposed to say
I was
something.
like, oh shit, we got to start this.
And then I said hello. Hi, everyone.
Hey, what's going on?
Hello.
So, Zap, who do we got today?
Today, based on your recommendation, Dave, we are doing, nobody's doing. We're going over the life and times of Alex Mengel.
Yeah, man, this is one that I heard a small little blip on another podcast, and I was like, I got to look into this story.
I never even heard of this guy.
Yeah, and I'm surprised it's not more well known based on some ties to different things. So I don't really want to give too much away.
No, I guess, is it Mangle or could it be Mengel?
Mengel?
That's what I thought. That's how I was seeing it too.
I don't know. I would say Mangle.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's funny when you read stories as a kid, like if you're into like sci-fi or fantasy, and you read these names, and then you like see the movie, and you're like saying the name wrong the whole time.
My entire life.
I mean, that happened in high school with Naughty by Nature. I thought the guy's name was Treach.
Oh, true.
Because I saw
Tretch.
it in the case of the cassette. And Matt's like, what are you talking about? Treach. It's Tretch.
Or like when reading Harry Potter, you're like Hermione.
Hermione, yeah.
And I was like, what the hell's Hermione? Shit don't make no sense.
I'm going to mess that up for sure.
Yeah.
So I guess why don't we hear a little bit about this guy?
Yeah, let's get into this dude. So Alex Mengel was born on January 29th, 1955 in Guyana. Is that a fashionable date,
That's
Matt?
a great date. I like this guy.
That's a great date.
Yeah. All right.
For those not aware, Guyana is on the northern coast of South America on the eastern border of Venezuela.
Oh, that's going to be ours soon.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, taking that.
It's like the 52nd state after Canada.
Yeah.
Venezuela.
So Alex immigrated to the United States in November of 1976 and settled in the Bronx, New York, finding work as a taxi driver, eventually becoming a tool and die maker, and going on to marry and have a kid. Alas, by the end of 1984, he'd lost his job as a tool and die maker and was working as a security guard. Additionally, he and his wife were now separated. He'd actually been arrested and subsequently released for assaulting her.
Yeah, I'd say he became a tool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the way I read that initially, I was like, yeah, you're right.
You know, I was reading up on this guy, and one of the write-ups had indicated that, absent this or the other thing, he was considered by many just to be like he's just a normal dude.
Yeah.
But it was after they would speak to him, beating his wife or some shit. And I'm like, what kind of normal dude how is that normal?
Right.
How? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Did Scorsese know this guy? Like, it sounds like a lot like
driver,
a taxi driver.
Mm-hmm.
De Niro.
That's got to be the number one job, like for immigrants in New York when they come. You think taxi driver? I don't know.
I was thinking, did you mean beating your wife?
Well, maybe
That's
too.
Immigrants.
That's a job. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know about it anymore because of Uber. Well, I guess they Uber now and do different things.
Well, no, they have in some of the bigger cities those ones that drive themselves.
Oh,
Did you
yeah,
ever see them now?
self-driving.
Yeah, self-driving. I think we talked about that.
Dallas is soon to launch air taxis.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah, air taxis,
Like
bro.
drones?
Yeah, essentially,
Where do you hang on?
you hang on. No, you sit in your own little drone, bro.
Nah, that's
No
not
way.
gonna work.
Way, swear to God.
I wonder what the range
I wonder
is on
what the death toll on that's going to be.
I think you're going to see more of a death toll with car accidents because everybody's going to be looking at these goddamn things flying all around and get really, really
Great
distracted.
point. That's a great point.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me. I knew that Amazon wanted to start with the deliveries with all the drones.
and all
Yeah,
that,
that was
yeah.
supposed to be coming out soon.
Well, now they'll be delivering
Now
people.
delivering people.
Yeah, that's wild.
Amazing.
In late February 1985, Mangol and two of his friends took a hunting trip to the Catskills, where Mangle owned a summer cabin. On the evening of February 24th, 1985, while returning from their trip, they were pulled over for speeding. Mangle was driving. Officer Gary Steinmelosky, the policeman who pulled Mangle over, soon discovered that Mengel had neither a valid driver's license nor a current registration for his vehicle. Peering into the car, Officer Steinmelosky noticed shotgun shells inside. It was time to call for backup, and call for backup he did. In the meantime, Mangle was infuriated, knowing he's jammed up with law enforcement again, not long after his recent arrest for domestic violence, and knowing his car was going to be impounded. Officer Steinmelosky's backup arrived on the scene minutes later, but neither the officer nor any of the suspects were there. Neither were their respective vehicles.
Yeah, I read on that part that, like, the friends, he made a comment, like, I'm going to kill this officer. He's, and they were like, thought he was joking.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Yeah, they said on, watch the thing on him on YouTube where he was like, hold on a second, I'm going to go kill this guy.
Yeah.
Like something like that nonchalant. And, I guess they said when the people arrived and they had the tow truck and everything came, like, there was nobody there. They're like, what are you talking about?
That's bizarre.
Yeah, man. How's that work? You call for backup, and then the backup shows up, and there's nobody
nothing there.
there.
Yeah, it's like pre-dash cam too and all that. So there's no footage, and they were going off a lot of radio back and forth.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Like his code name was Sam 1.
Sam 1. Yeah.
So they were like, Sam, no response.
But to show up and not see, if you are called for backup, not see the whole police car there, like what the hell? What are they talking about?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And he's not responding.
Yeah, there's trouble.
Like an abduction.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Minutes later, approximately 10 minutes after Officer Steinmelosky called in for backup, his police cruiser was found not but a few miles away from where he'd placed his call. Inside lay the lifeless body of Officer Steinmelosky, slumped in a driver's seat, having been shot 3 times, including once in his head. Also, Steinmelosky's handgun was missing. Investigators sprang into action. Within 2 hours of discovering Officer Steinmelosky's murder, the NYPD's anti-crime unit located Mengel's vehicle. It didn't take long for police to find and question known friends and associates of Mengel, during which time they met with Mengel's 2 hunting buddies. Both of Mengel's friends told their sordid tale to authorities. Mengel shot and killed the police officer, then asked his 2 friends to drive his vehicle back to his house for him. On February 27th, a warrant was issued for Alex Mengel's arrest.
Yeah, you wonder if these friends knew that this guy was a little unhinged. I mean, if they're all friends, they're hunting buddies. You know what I mean? If this was just totally out of the blue. Now, obviously, they said they were thought he was joking when he said that. But you have that couple. I mean, everybody has a friend that's a little nuts.
Sure.
Do
So
you think it was like that My Friend Dahmer? You guys ever seen that? Where he's fishing, he catches a trout.
Right.
He's supposed to take it off the hook. They're stabbing it and beating it.
Jesus.
The kid's he's like, Dahmer, what the hell are you doing? He's like, just playing around.
Yeah. You just wonder how long these guys knew each other and if it was just how surprised they were. I mean, I'm sure they were surprised.
I mean, you got to be some kind of something, though, to agree to do that.
Oh, you're now an accessory. Yeah.
You are absolutely an accessory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in that moment, though, you're just so probably freaked out, maybe think he's going to shoot you.
Well, there's that. I mean, he's got 2 guns now. He's got the one that he killed the cop with, and he took the cop's gun.
I guess you could use that as a defense. I didn't know what he was going to do. I was
complying. I was struck. I was just sitting there. I didn't know what to do.
Right.
You don't know though. Honestly, if your friend did that, you'd be. I don't know. Would you get out of the car and run away? Would you say, "Look, man, this was fun"?
I would have drove it right to the police. And just been like, here, this is what happened.
Yep.
But
they didn't do that.
But see, that's a point that you made. It's a good point that you made because they had his car. Mm-hmm. He jumped in the police car.
Right.
So wouldn't you drive somewhere safe? Wouldn't you go to the police? Wouldn't you go downtown? Wouldn't you? Mm-hmm. They had to have been an accessory then, correct or no?
100% they're an accessory.
Yeah.
They did this thing and he said, hey, man, hey, friends of mine, I'm going to go take this cop car.
Come meet me. Yeah, come meet me here.
You take my car back to my house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah,
that's bad news.
I don't know, man. I think first thing is when I was reading through this, first person I thought of course, is Officer Vince.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking that too. Officer Gary would have been a listener, I think.
Dude.
Or no, a routine traffic stop. That got to be scary. I would never.
Dude.
If I was a cop, I would never pull anybody
Hell
over.
no.
I know, man. This
See some guy
is
going by
seriously scary
95.
job.
You'd be like, he's all right. It's not that bad. What are those guys called that do the boards? Like the guy that Stern used to have.
The dispatcher?
Oh, Fred.
Yeah, like Fred. Because like when Zap was like, investigators sprung an accident, boing.
I can add that. Yeah, I'll add that in.
Or like,
Good idea.
like we missed like the one with the gunshot. Like they go,
Yeah, dude, I can
like,
be done. I'm Fred. I
yeah.
can do that.
You should Fred that up.
I should.
Like the spring into action is just boing, boing.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
We need more Fred.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, you're right. I did think of Officer Vince too. Anytime I hear officer anything, that's who I think of.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
I mean, look, man, you got to have respect for, our boys in blue. You really do, man.
It's a super dangerous job.
Shit,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Man, shit, yeah.
In today's world too, but you say that, but they always had this stuff happening too back in like the 50s and 40s.
I mean, back then it was so much. We say that about how much easier it was to like get away with stuff.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nowadays, like there's so many. Like I said, dash cam would have had this guy, and well, who knows?
You don't even know.
You see those things in the cops in or what were they called, sheriffs back in cowboy days. Like they were like, we have to take this before the judge.
Yeah, yeah.
And the guy said, I didn't do it. And they're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Is there any witnesses? Nah. All
You
right.
just have that like pencil drawing.
Yeah.
This is what he looks like. The handlebar. Everybody had that mustache, dude. So.
The guy's name like
How did they find anybody when they all had the same mustache?
Yeah.
the guy's name like Killer Joe. He's like, you're free to go, Killer Joe. I don't know how you got that nickname, but
I'm a
guess
good
you were
cook.
you were non-guilty today.
Right.
But yeah, thank you, cops.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep.
Woot, woot. By the time the warrant had been issued for Mengel's arrest, he'd made his way northwest. During his travels, he came upon a 13-year-old girl who was delivering newspapers in the small town of Skaneateles, just outside of Syracuse. According to the girl, Mangle, dressed in women's clothing and wearing lipstick and a woman's wig, called her over to his car to ask for directions. He then pulled out a gun and demanded she get in. The smart young girl ran away, escaping without harm. Mangle swiftly departed, traveling north, making his way to Canada. Dude, I'm reading about this and I'm getting nervous.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, when I was reading this, I was getting so nervous for this girl.
Yeah, I know, right? Also, Zap, I don't know if you saw anything that on his way to Canada. Did you see anything about him stopping like in Buffalo?
No.
At like there was some college kid he had a connection to. I don't know if it was a family friend. I guess the police interrogated that kid, and that was also another way they kind of knew he was heading towards Canada. I guess this kid kind of like they went to interrogate. Hey, what were you talking to him about? There was eyewitnesses that saw this guy in the news, and the kid was like, "Yeah, he asked me for like $300 and said he was heading to Toronto." So,
Canada.
yeah, Canada.
That's where the conscientious objectors go.
Yeah.
Back in Vietnam.
So I guess by then they're kind of like watching the border, maybe trying to see.
You would
this
hope.
guy. Yeah, you would think.
You would hope.
So you wonder how, like back in 85, this is 85, right?
Yep.
Like what the border patrol was like how
I think it was an ID.
strict it was.
I wonder if they were just on horses.
Just on horseback. I don't
Mount-
know.
yeah,
Yeah, the
Mounties,
the mounted police.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it was just an ID to get across the border.
That's pretty much all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There was no passport shit. They didn't care about that stuff.
Yeah, I just wonder how lax it was, Curious.
Yeah, one with like Borelli and I think it was Andre
Uh-huh.
and Michelle Leone, Jenna Michelli, and was Blanche there or not? No, we went to across the border from Detroit.
Yeah, I know a lot of people do that.
But I think it was an ID.
Yeah.
And that was in 94, 95.
I've never been to Canada.
You've never been there?
Never been.
Well, I know Juice, he grew up in Niagara Falls, and he would talk about, because the drinking ages were different.
Correct.
Like him and his buddies, I think that's what he would say. They would, let's head up to Canada. It was
18.
just like,
Mm-hmm.
it was like a quick trip, and obviously, I guess that would have been in the late 80s, early 90s. It wasn't as big of a deal, so.
That's where I first had Molson XXX, and that is not
strong.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, but I don't know about that kid. Like I said, I know that was in the book, I guess, about him talking to that kid in Buffalo at a university. And so I guess that kind of tipped him off, too. Like, hey, we better look in Toronto or at the border.
This guy's definitely heading north.
Right.
We got to keep on searching.
Yeah, no doubt.
Within a few days, Mangle was spotted outside a shopping mall in Toronto, Canada. After a very short car chase, he was captured and taken into custody. The car he'd been driving was registered to Beverly Capone, a 44-year-old computer programmer who'd gone missing just days earlier. Inside the car, police found a .38 caliber revolver, which belonged to Officer Steinmelosky, the policeman whom Mangle had murdered a week earlier. They also found a Star Model S pistol, whose ballistics matched the weapon that had been used to kill Officer Steinmelosky. Recall the wig that Mangle had been wearing when he'd attempted to kidnap the 13-year-old girl. It turns out that wasn't a wig at all. It was Beverly Capone's scalp, which was also found in the car, along with lipstick and women's clothes. Police would later find Beverly's body, stabbed in the chest, under a pile of stones near Mangle's cabin in the Catskills, with her scalp and face removed. It's believed that Mangle had impersonated Beverly Capone when he entered Canada, wearing her face and scalp when he crossed the border.
What's the matter with you?
That is crazy.
That is crazy.
Now, was it her whole face? He didn't peel the face off. I think he just did like a part of the forehead and scalp.
Well, that's where I've heard both.
I too have read both.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know.
You don't even know.
You don't even know.
Because
How do you have the face and people don't, and somebody doesn't see, like,
thank you,
bro?
Yeah,
this
look at this. This is a very attractive woman.
Why does it look like you're
Coming across.
bleeding all the way around your face? Like, that's a hell of a shaving accident.
Yeah,
And that would have took time to like let the face air out a little bit.
well, look at Leatherface. That's what you would look like.
True.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
The guy at the border would be like, "Hold on a second.
Something's off.
Yeah, let me check the car here
Yeah.
for a minute."
Well, that's why I was asking about. You know, I was a little foreshadow there, but about the patrol back then.
Right.
Was it just some guy with his feet up? Like,
Right.
oh, go through. You're next. Go.
You mean like
know what I mean?
No Country for Old Men when they went to Mexico?
Maybe it was just dark at night, and he pulls up, and it's dark. Here's my license, and dude's like, "All right, cool, peace out."
Yeah, but what Dave was saying, like in No Country for Old Men, they had a guy just sitting there with his feet up, like,
Yeah, just watching
go,
people
go ahead across, like
Yeah.
you're cool, like nobody, they didn't care, I don't think.
Just how lax it was. Yeah. That car too, I don't know if it matters, but it was a 85 Tercel, brand new at the time, white Tercel.
Yep.
Toyota. Yeah.
What do you think that cost? 85, brand new Tercel. Was it a coupe or was it a
It was
Ford?
like a hatchback.
Hatchback?
$5,000,
Probably.
Maybe.
$5,000, yeah.
maybe
Probably
yeah, it
around
could have
there.
been. It's still running, I bet, too. Those cars, those Tercels.
forever.
But yeah, that had me thinking about that. I was like, was it the face? Was it just the scalp? Like, I've heard both. You know what I mean?
The scalp you could definitely get away with.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I think he put it on probably kind of like a wig, and then he probably shaved and put makeup
on
lipstick,
Yep.
rouge,
Why not go get a wig, though? Just get a regular wig.
because he's kind of
I
psychotic.
guess, too, he's on the run, too.
He is on the run. I mean, John Wilkes Booth dressed up in a dress after he killed Lincoln.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, when he was running around and escaping and
with a
shit.
full beard.
Yeah.
What?
Bro, swear to God, he was wearing. They found him wearing a dress. He was hiding out wearing a dress because he was like just trying to blend in.
Just blend in.
Yeah.
I'm sure by then he probably shaved the beard.
And I was just
But it's
I was joking. But
Maybe
yeah,
you didn't.
those guys back then.
but
Yeah.
there were handsome women back then.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, maybe I'll keep this. It'll throw him off with this dress.
Yeah,
Like, you know what, John? That's a great idea.
Yeah. You should do that. You got the hair.
Yeah.
So yeah, this reminds me now of that little 13-year-old girl delivering newspapers.
Uh-huh.
When she was talking to the police, she was like, "Yeah, this guy tried to abduct me. Man, he was dressed in he was wearing a dress and lipstick, and he had a really awful wig."
Oh, yeah.
So the
that makes
13-year-old
sense.
called him out, but the cop or whoever, the Border Patrol. I don't even think there was Border Patrol then.
Well, they were probably drinking Triple X.
Yeah,
yeah,
for
that
sure.
Molson Triple X will
Probably
get you.
seen- yeah.
Mm.
So I wonder what else they found. in the
Trace
car.
Eckes.
Mm.
What else? I
That's
wonder.
Spanish for 3 Trace Eckes.
Trace Eckes. Yeah.
While in custody, police went on to search through Mengel's car. This is the car his two friends had driven back to his house for him on the night he killed Officer Steinmelosky. Inside, police recovered a map of Pennsylvania, which had a hand-drawn circle around the Harrisburg area. And within that circle were 2 areas marked with an X. The 2 areas were located in the middle of the woods where, according to Mengel's friends, he would often go hunting. As chance would have it, there had been 3 unsolved murders in the same areas, murders which, to this day, remain unsolved. Also inside Mengel's car were 4 wallet-sized photos and 1 Polaroid photo, all of young women. The 5 women were checked against missing person flyers and reported homicides, but no positive identifications were ever made. Dave, I understand you might know a thing or two about what may or may not have gone down in the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania area as a result of Mengel's meddling.
Yeah, so like I sent a thing to Matt And there was a news report video, and they had a hand-drawn thing around Harrisburg, then Annville was checked off. But I dug a little deeper, and they had the actual. Now, I was
gonna say, did you find any bodies?
No, I didn't actually dig.
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah,
Well played, Matt.
physically
Well played.
dig, yeah.
Thank you.
But it looks like, according to, now this is like I think it was WPIX was the.
So that's New York.
Yeah, I think it would have been in New York.
Yep.
They were looking closer to Honey Grove and Lewistown.
Okay.
So there is a case that I guess when they reached out, and I don't know about the other two, maybe they're Harrisburg area cases, but this case, I guess, and you tell me if it, with this guy's history now, this maybe makes a little sense, but it was Edna Posey, May of '84. It was less than a year before Mangle's killing spree. Fishermen discovered along the Juniata River, Perry County, a cardboard box on the riverbed with a woman's torso. She had been decapitated. All 4 limbs had been removed. The head and limbs were never found. The body went unidentified for nearly a year. The police published a small notice saying their remains were going to be buried. They found out somebody came forward recognizing her missing sister-in-law, 31-year-old Edna Posey. There was a man, Daniel Ruby, who was convicted in '87, but on retrial, he was acquitted because they did an autopsy with there were seminal deposits, and it didn't match his DNA.
Native Americans.
Yeah, correct.
Is it seminal? Seminal?
No, you're right with seminal.
Okay.
They're giving it a chop.
Yeah. So the case was featured on Forensic Files, and there was a $5,000 reward, and it remains unsolved to this day. So that river runs through Perry County.
Yep.
And the area circled on Mangle's map right near those X's, that's just south of Honey Grove. So it's kind of in that area.
Okay.
The guy, I guess we'll find out if we can get DNA from him. I don't know if they could do that. I don't know if they did do that, but maybe it's tied. Maybe that was it.
Well, the cops, they were thinking it was something that he was trying to hide, because didn't they find it like stuffed under his...
Well, no, the map was definitely hidden, but what I'm saying is this unsolved case, I guess, of maybe I was one of the 3. And obviously he's he's not afraid to cut people up, and you know what I mean? I don't know from scalping somebody or versus this, but
that's a whole different thing with murder when we look at these cases. Like in to be able to take pieces of somebody, like to cut the scalp or take parts of their face, and that's not like a normal thing. So things that you would find like this, cops would try to, use him as a suspect.
It's funny to me too when they say, well, you'll tell me if it's funny, but when they say an area around Harrisburg, like I'm thinking like Fishing Creek or like Camp Hill or whatever. But when they describe Harrisburg, I guess we are it between Philly and Pittsburgh.
That's correct.
So if it's out now, I would say
like central. It's like Central PA, our area, Central PA.
But I'm looking at it on the map, and I'm like, wouldn't they say State College because of Penn State and all that? But I guess technically, when you're looking like we're the capital, so you're going to say Harrisburg area versus like State College. But
it's interesting though if you travel enough out of state and then even further out of country, people don't know where the hell Harrisburg is. But if you mention Hershey.
they know.
They know that.
Yeah, it's just
But then you're like Harrisburg. It's just the capital of freaking Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
We're the second state. We're pretty large. We had a lot going on in the state. You'd think you know where Harrisburg is.
But Harrisburg blows dog anymore. It's just an awful capital. This city is just such a shithole.
I think the Manor Corps is even going down in rent.
Yeah.
It's like, what are they? It's $35 to join the Manor Corps. I saw that pop up on Facebook.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I have a lifetime membership.
That's awesome. I used to belong there back when I lived in Harrisburg.
I don't belong anywhere.
I don't belong here.
So wait a second. Am I the only one that finds it incredibly coincidental that we talk about this dude scalping and then all of a sudden the topic of Indians comes up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
That is.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well,
interesting.
I didn't even tie that together.
No, but back to the about the map. Like there was one map that like Matt and I saw, and that one that had Annville out near Annville circled. But digging deeper in there was they call them cap cuts that were online from an actual like newscast about this, and they had the file photos of the girls found and then the map.
These are cap cuts, not glamour shots.
Right.
Okay.
So they actually take photo from the actual video, cut it out, make, you know what I mean, post it. So pretty most people online are pretty confident those are the actual photos. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't release that.
Sure.
I'm sure if you really, really want to dig, you can contact the authorities and get the actual maps. But I was just curious where in Harrisburg, and that's the other thing about this case that got me. When they said Harrisburg, I'm like, oh, there's a tie there. So it was interesting to me to see where at.
I mean, the Harrisburg area is a pretty decent-sized area, and there's plenty of places that you can go hunting. I mean,
right.
You can just head up the damn mountain up on Peters Mountain from here, and you're there. There's tons of wooded area.
And being that he was an avid hunter, they said he also, like, they were known to hunt in this area.
Right.
So,
and let's not forget, this is 85, for Christ's sake.
Right.
Like, there's been a lot of buildup in the last 40 years.
Oh, my God. Yeah, in 85, there was nothing.
My other thought was 85 would have been Joey Miller time when he had been tied to some of those missing people.
Steelton's finest.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he was, there were girls missing back then.
Yeah.
But he was responsible.
I thought about that too.
Yeah.
When we do like things like this, if this guy wasn't such an idiot,
right.
But I'm saying all these like unsolved murders that happen around, like these people are walking with us every day. They say you pass like what 6 or 7 murders in your lifetime.
In your lifetime, yeah.
I don't know if that's the exact number.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
I'd like to shake their hands.
but it's crazy.
It is crazy.
And even the stuff that happened in the 60s, 70s, 80s, these people that are still alive today, we would never know because
you don't even know.
You don't even know.
We were all alive then, though. A lot of people weren't. They weren't.
Yeah.
You know,
That's true. We were alive in 85.
Yeah.
And then
It's a good bumper sticker.
And then all of this occurred before Marty McFly went back in time.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Would have been November, right?
Fun fact.
Oh.
You need to be financially fit if you wish to immigrate to Canada. On March 26th, less than a month after his arrest, Mangle was deported to New York as he didn't have the financial means to support himself.
So they don't deal with bums there.
No bums.
Okay.
No bums. That's the best immigration policy in the world. I wish we would have that here. Look, if you're coming in here, you got to have some scratch.
Right.
You bum.
They're doing that now. I think, what is it? 25,000 or something. Like you have to have something in your account. Did Trump say that? There was something going on like a couple months ago. About people that want to come into the country. Like if you have the scratch, he's like, yeah, come on in.
Oh yeah, they're $1 million a piece.
Yeah.
$1 million, you can get the Trump card.
Yep, you get a pass. Got to have some kind of money, man.
It's the fast pass.
Yeah.
Just 2 days later, a grand jury in Westchester County charged Mangle with first-degree murder for the killing of Officer Steinmelosky. Less than 2 weeks after that, on April 8th, Mangle would be charged with second-degree murder for the slaying of Beverly Capone. 2.5 weeks later, on April 26th, Mangle was being transported by New York State Police from his arraignment for the Capone killing. During the drive, he attacked State Trooper Fred Grunwald, who was sitting in the back of the car with him. Despite being chained and handcuffed, Mangle assaulted Trooper Grunwald by lunging for his pistol and biting him in the arm and the shoulder in the process. State Trooper Robert Stabile, who was driving the car, promptly pulled over. By now, Mangle had obtained Officer Grunwald's pistol. With no time to spare, Officer Stabile turned around and shot Mangle in the chest. Mangle died immediately.
Yeah.
And I say good riddance.
Yeah, for sure.
But he didn't get his day in court, though. That's what you usually try to find out.
Yeah. And
I mean, he might have got sentenced to death anyway, but.
That's what the interview they had on that one I sent you, Matt, with the daughter of Beverly Capone. She was like, yeah, he's dead, but I would have liked to seen him go to trial. And
there's a level of satisfaction.
Sadness for that, yeah. But this, a lot of this was, there's people that say, and I think it was mentioned in the book, Silence of the Lambs, that his story was kind of like inspiration for the book. This all happened before the book.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so the Buffalo Bill character with the skinning and the scalping and all that.
Goodbye Horses.
Goodbye Horses, yeah. But one of our favorite songs we talk about. But yeah, it's pretty crazy to think that this would have inspired that, and it's out there. A lot of people talk, and I think it was mentioned, like I said, in the book, but nobody really talks about this case. There also are those other photos that were discovered that we talked about that I think a lot of them.
5 chicks.
Yeah, they never identified.
Nope, not one.
Wasn't there a younger girl too that was involved? A younger Italian girl from his hometown.
There was a body that was found. That's what I was a little confused earlier when we were talking about.
She was like 5 foot 90 pounds.
Yeah, and they found this. She went missing, and they found the skull later on. A hunter with braces on the skull. And he was like, this is a young girl. I can tell they did forensics on and tied it to her. It was her body. I don't know that they ever tied Mangle directly to that.
They never did. It was circumstantial at best.
Right.
But apparently, I guess it was his brother-in-law or somebody lived like near there, and he would frequent that place, or he would, like the day that she disappeared, Mangle said he was going to visit with his brother-in-law or some such shit.
Yeah, because that's the one where when you were saying about newspaper, I was like, the girl I'm thinking of, she was bugging her mom to go, like she wanted to run an errand or go, and she had never done anything like that before on her own. So she was going to the bank and went missing.
I tend to keep the speculations out.
Right, yeah, just because you don't know for sure.
You don't even know.
You don't know. What were you going to say, Matt?
I think you haven't heard that much about this Mangle guy, because what he did in comparison to some of the top dogs, I guess, if you're into like true crimes.
Sure.
And like what he did is kind of not all that. Like the scalping part is kind of a big one. You think people would talk about that, but there's been other murders. Like he's kind of pushed to the side because there's not that much exciting.
Well, like Zap said, there's speculation, but you can't really, I guess, do a whole thing about, like, you can mention, but you can't really talk about all his crimes because we only have one.
He basically he killed the cop, and then there's this lady,
the Capone, and then so there were only two, and he didn't admit to the Capone one. He said, "Oh, I just stole her car." He was just looking for the car, but I mean, come on.
And apparently her scalp
was already in there. Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
But then it also, with this hunting cabin, there was the hunting cabins, and he buried her under the rocks.
They they found her body less than a half a mile from the cabin.
So yeah, basically this guy had two murders. But the interesting fact, like you said, we probably wouldn't even be talking about him if it wasn't for the trying to get into Canada with a scalper face.
Scalp.
Yeah.
So that Capone too was super smart. She had put in her ID in one of the drawers at the cabin.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how they were like, she was definitely here, and then they found the body not far from there. So it was like smart of her to do that. But yeah, I just thought it was a wild story. I was like, man, I want to find out more about this guy. It was cool that there was Harrisburg tied to it.
For sure.
It makes you think like, oh,
little hometown appeal.
Right. Like, 85, what was going on? Like, where was he looking at? And I was very curious. So if that is accurate in that Honey Grove area, it's not quite what I was thinking. When they said Harrisburg, I was thinking like Fishing Creek or, something across the river maybe. But
every time you say Honey Grove, I think of the damn ham company.
The Honey Grove ham.
Honey baked.
Yeah.
Honey Grove ham factory.
Have you been to Honey Grove?
Nope.
Me neither.
Wait, maybe I have.
Is that around Halifax? Is that
it's
up
on
in
the
that
way
area?
to State College. It looks like
okay.
I think it's above Lewistown maybe.
If I would have had to exit to get there, I'd never been there.
No. Yeah, Lewistown, I know, was another place like nearby that these X's were drawn.
Yeah.
According to this map. And I've been through there, obviously. I think
there's ample hunting grounds between here and Lewistown. Ample.
Well, no, we're right in the Susquehanna Valley area. So yeah, if you go to the right or left of us, pretty much off of any major highway, 83, it's mountains.
You're gonna go. You're gonna have mountains or woods or farmland.
Yes.
So when I initially looked up those two places for like crimes in the 80s, the one that came up, and it wasn't murder, but they solved it pretty quick. Like some kid, I guess, came down from State College to buy LSD.
Nice.
In Lewistown.
All right.
And the guy ended up shooting and killing him or whatever.
Dang.
You're like saying the Falcons, so like lower dolphin.
No. LSD. LSD. Yeah.
LSD.
Came down to buy some LSD. So there wasn't a lot going on up there crime-wise, you know what I mean?
Just
in
some
those
drugs.
areas. Yeah, because they're very rural. I mean, there's not much going on there, but yeah. So anyway, yeah, man, I appreciate you doing that one.
Okay, I appreciate the idea.
Cool little episode.
Yeah, thanks for finding him, Dave.
I think Matt has a good idea for our next.
That's a lie.
No, I do. I have an idea for reals.
What do you got
for reals?
So what was it?
It's a movie called Roof Man. And actually, I didn't look.
Roof Man. Can I get another hit?
So anyway, this guy Jeffrey Manchester, he robbed about 40 some McDonald's. All right, the guy gets caught. So he's a smart dude. He's from the military.
Are you sure you want to tease this out like this? Like maybe we want to do. We actually
instead of giving the whole story.
Yeah, bro.
Okay. It's called Roof Man, and the story is, actually a writer, whatever, when he made the movie, said you can't make this shit up.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It's an incredible story.
Okay.
And
who's the guy that's in the movie now? It's Channing
Tatum. Magic Channing.
I was like, this is for real? He's like, yeah. I was like, you got to tell Zap. I was like, because this would be a cool one to dig into.
Let's, well, then we'll...
well, I teased the name there. Jeffrey Manchester is the guy.
Manchester.
Yes.
We'll tease the audience with that one, and we'll do that one soon.
But if you have the opportunity to watch the movie before the podcast, I'd like to... Yeah. It's a warm up until you hear, because the movie and what's written and stuff, there's a little bit off, but
there's going to be some artistic liberties taken there.
But I think when they did the movie, it's pretty much, because I read about it, it's like spot on. They said everything that happened in the movie is pretty factual, because it was based on his story and other people's stories that were directly involved. So it's a pretty true story, which you don't see much of.
True.
Yeah, when you were saying about the McDonald's guy, I was thinking that there's a documentary on a guy that would call McDonald's and like say that like somebody there was like stealing. And
the detective. That's another movie. Yeah.
It was like a doc. I don't know if they made a movie out of it, but totally different guy.
Wait, what did this guy do?
He would call McDonald's and pretend to be law enforcement and be like, I need to come. One of your employees there has been stealing or, doing whatever, and he would come in and interrogate everybody, and then end up having them do sex acts on each other.
That's an actual movie.
About that. I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, it was like off the wall. I'm like, how did these people fall? But he was the way he knew all the terminology to sound legit. And it was. I thought that's who Matt was initially talking about, but no, man.
But there is a movie on that one too.
I was looking for Alex Mengel, like where he might be buried or anything. Nowhere. I can't find him anywhere.
Nothing about it.
Nothing.
Well, that too, at the end when you said about him dying there, that's what I was saying with these other. So say somebody like that, he dies, and then years later they, this crime, they're like, oh, maybe he was involved. Can they get DNA? I guess they could dig his, like, from his bones.
They could do whatever they want. If somebody opens the case or keeps a case going, 100% they could do that.
Because I'm wondering about that, the girl they found, the torso that they found, that they rule him out. You wonder about that. Because they said we're looking at these cases. Maybe he's tied to it, but I don't know.
Who's to say?
Yeah, the movie on what you were talking about is called Compliance.
Oh, okay.
They did a whole movie on that.
Oh, nice. I'll have to check that. I just saw the doc, but anyway.
Welcome back, Matt.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yes, Compliance.
So I guess we'll be back next week, hopefully with a vintage cinema review. I don't know what's coming up next, but we'll surprise you with that, and then maybe down the road that true crime and whatever Zap has.
Roofman,
yeah. So you guys got anything else in closing?
I got nothing else.
No, thank you. Good one.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to find us on Facebook and Instagram at Old Dirty Basement, on TikTok at Old Dirty Basement Podcast. Check out our other podcasts. You might be a madman. I guess that's it for now. So we'll catch you where?
On the flip side.
If we don't see you sooner, we'll see you later.
Peace. Thanks for hanging out in the Old Dirty Basement. If you dig our theme music like we do, check out the Tsunami Experiment. Find them on Facebook. Their music is available streaming on Spotify and Apple, and where great music is available.
You can find us at Old Dirty Basement on Facebook and Instagram, and at Old Dirty Basement Podcast on TikTok.
Peace.
We Audi 5000.